Welcome, everybody, to 12th Man TV and our spring preview show. We will be with the Aggies throughout April as they prepare for their first season in the SEC. Also, a new coaching staff is in place. Kevin Sumlin and his crew, they've been hard at work and will soon get their first look at returning players like Ryan Swope, Luke Jokel, Jake Matthews, Sean Porter, and DeMontre Moore. And we begin this show by catching up with the new head man, Kevin Sumlin. He discusses his first spring with the Aggies. Our coverage throughout is brought to you by your local Texas Ford dealers, and Coach Sumlin has been dealing with quite a bit since arriving at A&M, hiring a staff, recruiting, and evaluation. But he is anxious to get on the field with his first team.
It's later than we've started spring ball anywhere I've ever been, and I think that there were really two main factors. Number one, I just felt that the ability to have Larry Jackson in strength and conditioning and Chad Dennis and the crew really have an impact on our program immediately was critical. I think that there's been a drastic change in our strength and conditioning program philosophically and physically, how we do things. Putting together a new staff is one thing, but having guys get on the same page and to take time to do that was, I think, very, very important. And then you combine that with change is difficult for everybody and for our players to really start to feel comfortable with us, get to know how we do things, what we expect of them. I think the time that we've taken to make that change more gradual than immediate, I think it's going to pay dividends down the road.
Also this spring, Coach will have a quarterback competition on his hands. Sophomores to be Jameel Showers and Matt Jokel, redshirt freshman Johnny Manziel, and an early enrollee from high school, Matt Davis, will vie for time as the signal caller.
A lot of people are concerned because we don't have a returning starting quarterback, and as I've said a bunch of times, we've got 4 young guys that are pretty good, and sometimes as a coach it's better to have a fresh new canvas, so to speak, instead of maybe a 4th or 5th year guy that is used to a certain system, maybe rejects your coaching a little bit and has a different philosophy. So for us, it's a chance for us to really mold some guys and give them a chance to develop into the system and really learn what they can and can't do and kind of grow them in the offense. So I think the ability of our players, there's one thing that you can do in the summer that you really can't do at all positions is throw and catch. And without a coach being around, when we put in the basis of this offense during the spring, these guys will know what to do, how to do it, and then they can work on their own in the summer and improve. And going into two-a-days, I think obviously we'll have a starter named probably a couple weeks before the first game, but I don't know necessarily that that's going to happen after spring football.
No matter what position, it's time to lace them up and prepare for the rugged opposition that awaits in the SEC. That's Coach Sumlin discussing his first spring, and he talked a little bit about the quarterback situation. Let's flip to the other side of the ball now. Last year on defense, A&M ran a 3-4, but they are under the direction of new defensive coordinator Mark Snyder. He will base out of a 4-3, but insists that Texas A&M will be multiple. To see what changes may be in store, we talked to a key cog on the defensive side of the ball, and that's Sean Porter. Our senior linebacker gets ready to head into spring ball with his team, but one of the things Coach Sumlin talked about is spring ball is a little later because he wanted you guys to work with Larry Jackson, the strength and conditioning coach. How has that work gone?
It's been fun so far. He's a tough guy. He's really hard on us, actually. But he's a former player. He really knows what he's talking about. He knows how to get us in shape to play football. So, all is well. It's going the way it's supposed to be going, and he's getting us ready for the SEC.
Mm-hmm. And then with a new coaching staff, the defense will be asked to do different things. What do you anticipate change-wise this spring?
We're switching from a 3-4 to a 4-3, and the 4-3 is a completely different defense than than 3-4, obviously. Change-wise, Demontre is not playing linebacker anymore. He's going to be, put his hand in the ground and play defensive end. I'm going more, to more of a conventional outside linebacker. It's not going to be all the, pass rushing and all the flashy stuff that it kind of used to be. We're kind of adjusting our defense to play in the SEC more and, to plug those gaps and to, stop those big-time running games they have down there.
What about you as an individual? Do you like this role you're about to step into as opposed to what you were doing during the Sherman era?
It's gonna be different. I don't really know which one I'm gonna like better until I really get to play in this a lot more. But it'll be different. It'll be good for my for my career. I think these coaches know what they're talking about. I came back to school because I think Sumlin's a great coach, and I think that he can help advance me in my skill set and in my career. So, I think we'll just roll with the flow and see how it goes.
How much does it mean to you that you're a senior on the first team that will lead Texas A&M into the Southeastern Conference?
It means a lot. I want my team to respond well to going into this. I don't think that we have guys that are afraid of the SEC. This is a big time conference. It's the best in the country. So we have to go in there with open minds. We have to go in there very aggressively. We have to go in there, just try to attack it head on. So I think as long as we do those things and we do those things well, that we'll have a good season.
All right, well, we appreciate the time. Have a great spring out there.
Thank you.
All right, that's Sean Porter right here on 12th Man TV. And special teams, they must always be accounted for. In charge of this unit is Brian Polian. He comes to Texas A&M from Stanford. Here's a little bit on his philosophy.
Well, the first job is to avoid the big play where we don't want the other bands playing, the other team's band. Our first job is to prevent a game changer in the kicking game, and then our second job is to find a way to create one. And we need to ID, do we have a dynamic returner? Do we have a dynamic returner coming in? What do those guys do best? But our first job is going to be we need to eliminate those game changers against us, and then we'll find a way to create one or two working for us.
So now you are set for spring ball, and remember, 12th Man TV will be with you throughout April covering the Aggies. 3 dates you need to remember: April 14th, April 20th, April 28th. On the 14th, that's a scrimmage that's open to the public, and there's also a youth experience that goes along with it. April 20th, also a scrimmage open to the public. We're calling it Friday Night Lights. It'll kick off at about 8 p.m. And then on April 28th, the Maroon and White game right here at Kyle Field. It kicks at 1 o'clock. See you this spring with the Aggies on 12th Man TV.